Okay. So this is the same area we're looking at here. Let me change to Rwanda. Yeah. Okay, let us backtest this area for price. Let's backtest this area of storyline. This is the Rwanda chart, right? This is the Rwanda chart. So if you look at this area, we had this buy weekly zone. Price taps this weekly zone like this. So like we always say, we have three options. Either you can refine using market structure and you take a straight up entry from there, or you wait for what a daily storyline to start. Then you write the daily storyline that's inside the weekly, right? In anticipation that the weekly will start what a bullish storyline from that zone. Or another thing you could do is what? Wait for the weekly, which this is mostly not because imagine you waited for this weekly to reject and close, and then you miss out on all of this move. Like this could be a whole big move you could catch, but you miss out on everything. So I wouldn't really advise you to wait for the weekly to reject and close. So these are the two things I would advise you to do. If you want to be more conservative, wait for the dailies to start a storyline inside the weekly. But if you are more, advanced, you could just take an entry with the market structure. Now let's go down to the daily level and see if we can see a daily storyline start from the weekly. So let's check. Now, you can see that at this same um weekly area, we have a daily there, but this daily didn't get rejected, right? You can see price broke on the daily, broke this area, right? And went inside, didn't get rejected, price broke. But then you can now see that still inside the weekly, price created a new daily support. Sell, buy, then now instead of using this for your storyline, you could use this. Now, how about if you want to just take a straight up entry from here without no storyline? How could you do it? You could go down to the 4 hour time frame. You want to take a straight entry, go down to the 4 hour time frame. And on the 4 hour time frame, you could mark your structure and whatever. So now we are inside the daily, right? So we are inside the daily, and you know, price has to break out of here for you to confirm your storyline. Price has to break out of this area to confirm a storyline for you. And if you're too, you don't want to wait for this because you don't want to miss out on the move. You want to take the entry faster. This is our daily support line. This is what This one is what daily and weekly. Let's look for um this is what daily and weekly. So daily MTF, weekly, daily multi-time frame. The weekly is this dotted line, while the line down here is a daily inside the weekly. This one is a daily inside the weekly. So we have both like this, right? So now you are taking this trade. This trade you'll be taking here will be in anticipation of what? A daily bullish storyline. But you'll be taking it what with a straight up entry. Because why? We are inside a weekly and a daily level, first reason. And then price inside the weekly level created what? A daily support. And now you want to anticipate, you want to buy in anticipation that this support will start a storyline. So how do you buy? You head to the 1 hour time frame and look for what? Structure. Break of structure or shift in structure. Okay. So here on the 1 hour time frame, right? Here on the 1 hour time frame, there's definitely going to be a break of structure if maybe you go to the 45 minutes or the 30 minutes. I don't want to go all that low because let's go back. Okay. So, 1,000. Okay. Right. Okay. So as you can see right here, we had ourselves a break of structure right here. A low, a high, a higher low, higher high, and whatever. This is a break of structure right here. Right? So a break of structure right here. Then a pretty solid liquidity. And during the inducement creation, price tested this level. So this level is no longer fresh. This level is what tested, not fresh anymore. So we had what? Liquidity here. Now, this would be your first option, right? Taking the trade straight. Then what would be your entry point? Closest one to the liquidity, right? Take from here. Or you can what? Refine it to see if it what has other time frame. So you can check the 1 hour and refine, check 4 hour and refine, and just like that. So let's check the 1 hour and refine. So if you look at the 1 hour right here, you could see that there could be a possible better entry down here. Possible better entry down there from here. Which level is this? A sell and a sell break. So this is what a resistance becomes support. Then this would act as what your liquidity feeding into it. This would act as your liquidity feeding into that area, right? And now you are buying inside the daily support. Now all these buys you're taking inside the daily support, what are you buying for? You're buying because you're anticipating that this buy should what? Turn price bullish. Then once price is full-fledged bullish storyline, we are going to see more push the upside. Then you take your buy here, stop loss, stop loss, no, not more than 30, 40 pips. Okay, you can do 30 pips, stop loss, and target. This could be first possible target this high, or you target this high, right? Target this high. So this could be one of your best. This could be your targets. Target this high. For price to sweep out what this whole liquidity, you could target that high and see if price would get all this liquidity out. Target that high. And this will be you buying. Now, why is this your direction? You can see price has been selling. Now, why are you taking the buy side, right? There was a break of structure, a liquidity, and a zone. Now that's more like the entry model you use, right? The entry model. But what is the entire reason for the buy from the higher time frame? You can see how we did the top down. We had the weekly support. Inside our weekly support, price created what? A daily support, right? Inside our daily support, we are buying from what? That daily support and what? With the market structure confluence in anticipation that what price would end up going higher, rejecting the support and starting a bullish storyline, right? So by the end of the day, if I go to the daily time frame, Okay, let's see. Okay, on daily time frame, you can see that now our daily support, you can see our daily support here. Our daily support ended up being what? Rejected. Price rejected, closed above the support. Now, after rejecting and closing above the support, what's the next thing? 4 hour. If we have a 4 hour breakout, what does that make the storyline? Bullish, right? So after that, we had our what? Our 4 hour breakout from here. So with this breakout, price closing right above the last A formation, you can see this was the last A formation that was created before price taps our daily. Price broke it, confirming what? Daily storyline bullish. And what? The weekly has always been bullish. The weekly never turned bearish. So the weekly is still what? Bullish. So both time frames being bullish simply means buys. Buys are going to be dominant. Buys will be stronger. And if you watch properly, let me erase all of this. If you watch properly, our entry point, which is the 1 hour sell break, sell candle break turn support, is also the what? V formation support on the 4 hour time frame here. So you can see. So you take this buy and you target all the way high. You can target higher and higher to this area. Because what? Storyline is now bullish, right? And since the storyline is bullish, all you just have to do is what? Look out for what? Market structure and continue buying. Now, how do you take counter trades? Counter trades. Now, the storyline is bullish now, right? Weekly storyline is bullish, daily storyline is bullish as well. So now, if you want to take counters, how do you counter the daily storyline? If you want to counter the daily storyline, you counter the daily storyline from what? 4 hour support level. I mean, 4 hour resistances becomes what? Roadblock. So areas like here, right? Since the daily is bullish now, all of this becomes what? Obstacles and what? Roadblocks. Areas like here, and even here are all roadblocks. But does it mean you sell from any roadblock, just any roadblock you see? No. You need what? The entry model around that particular level, what plus a whole reason for a sell. Then you take it from what? The 4 hour resistances. Now let us look at this one. On this one, you can see that there was a break of structure from here and a liquidity from here. So with this being seen, what would be your most logical level to choose if you want to take a counter sell? You can counter from here, but what? Just know what your target is while you're countering and when to get out, right? So if you take a counter trade from here, where do you target? If you counter from there, where do you target? 4 hour level, countering the daily. And see, price just used this counter setup to push price down into this support to continue buying. So most times, like I said, the overall direction is dominant, but what you can take counter trades to what oppose the overall direction just to catch what opposite side trades that could what push price to a particular level before we continue with the overall storyline again, right? Yeah. So this is what a counter trade
Oh,
is. This is what a counter setup.
bro,
Right?
hello.
Yes, yes.
Am I audible, bro? Yeah, like we marked 4 hour roadblock, right? Now you chose this first one. So before going to this point, like I would like to ask, what are the parameters for selecting any of these roadblocks.
I can't hear you properly, bro. Please, can you type
Are
it?
our,
Please, can you type
hello?
it, please? I can't hear you properly. Can you type the question?
Yeah, yeah, I will do that.
Okay, please type the question. So this is why you have your sell from there. This is what a counter setup to push price. Now, this setup now, I can't anticipate this setup to change the storyline. Why? I can't anticipate this setup to change the storyline. Why? Because for storyline to change, price needs to be trading inside the daily level, right? And this setup most likely isn't inside the daily level, isn't from a daily level. So I can't, and you can see this is where the setup was here, not in a daily level. So I can't anticipate that setup to change. If I was selling from somewhere here, a 4 hour here, with good reasoning, then yeah, you can anticipate this one to change the storyline. This is just an example, right? Because what? Like you all know, storyline goes from what? Time frame to time frame. Like it goes from the daily level to the daily level. It doesn't go from a daily to 4 hour. So if you have what? A daily support right here, right? And the storyline starts from here and price starts going higher, you'd notice that on the 4 hour level, it might be just one daily candle like this, one daily candle right here, right? And then another daily candle right here, another daily candle right here, right? And this will be your what? Resistance, right? But on the 4 hour time frame, just inside this one daily, there will be so many 4 hour resistance everywhere. Now, these resistances now are what they call the obstacles, right? Now, price cannot start a storyline from here and end the storyline here. It must reach a resistance, not just any resistance, right? It is not going to be any resistance in the market, not any daily resistance. Not every daily resistance you see would end the storyline. You are going to learn more about which areas would you look for and to anticipate the storyline from when we go to market structure and liquidity. You would learn more about that. But I'm just telling you that this is just the basic storyline rules. If the storyline starts here, it must last up till what? A resistance. So any 4 hour level you see inside here, the 4 hour could do a big sell, like push price really down, continue higher up, push price again. Right, but they can't change your storyline. No bearish storyline can start because what? There won't be a daily reject daily, right? Except in rare cases, right, price could what? Use that 4 hour, push down, right? And if the market is really choppy, we could create what? Daily resistance. A new daily resistance could be created somewhere around here. Then if price rejects this new daily resistance and starts a storyline, then we can turn bearish. I don't know if you guys are following with me, right? Let me explain it properly. In rare cases, price could do this, right? These are 4 hour levels, right? These lines are 4 hour levels, right? Price starts the storyline here, goes up here, come down, then push to this level. They didn't reach uh, a daily resistance, yeah. But then this level sells price so bad that what? A daily bearish candle forms. So now we have a sell buy. Then price comes, I mean a buy sell. So that's what an A formation. Price comes to the daily A formation, reject and what? Break out on the 4 hour, start a storyline, then price turns bearish again. But in most cases, price would reach an original um level. Okay, this the storyline I explained right here is actually a very good example of this. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you. You can see here that price broke this daily support, right? They didn't respect any, broke it, right? So you might be thinking that maybe since price broke that one, price next daily level is here, right? So price must get here before starting the storyline. But as you can see, price created a new support here and then started the storyline from here. So of course, you should already know that what we are going to buy and price since the storyline has started here with good market structure understanding and liquidity understanding, you will understand why price didn't get here, which is what we are going to talk about from tomorrow. We'll go to market structure topic. Market structure. We'll go to market structure from tomorrow. So now what you just do is what? When I send out the recording, backtest and make sure you understand everything about what storyline. But because you're going to understand it more by the time we start using them to, make full trade plannings from storylines to market structure, then you would understand how to pair everything together. Okay, the parameters for a counter trend trade. Like I said yesterday, right? When you want to look for a counter trend trade, there are two things you look out for, right? Why are you countering? Why am I countering? First of all, ask yourself why. You need two questions. Why you are countering? Right? There are two reasons you counter. Ask yourself, what is the reason for countering? Am I countering to what? Sweep out a particular liquidity and price continues in its original direction, or am I countering to what? Change the storyline entirely? Those are the two things you ask yourself. All right, let me show you a very good counter trade example so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, let me show you a very good counter trade example that could help you understand what I'm saying properly. Uh, okay. Yeah. Okay, now look at this counter trade from here. This counter trade from here. Or let me switch chart. Let me look. Yeah. Okay, look at this counter setup from here. This counter setup taken from here, right? This counter trade from here, right? This 4 hour level, right? In a daily bullish storyline. Let's look at the daily storyline. The daily started a bullish storyline from, let's say, from here. We had a bullish storyline started from here, right? Daily reject daily, and what? On the 4 hour, there was what? A breakout, right? There was a breakout on the 4 hour, price breakout. So this is what? A a daily bullish storyline. Then I took a sell from here. Now, why did I sell from here? Now, the first question is, why am I countering from here? First of all, why am I looking for a counter? My reason was to sell, so price can take this liquidity and price would continue buying again, right? So now, why did I choose that zone as my counter level, as the level I want to sell for? Now, this is why I chose that zone. It's quite easy. On the 2 hour time frame, I could see that price was what in an uptrend. Let's mark our trend together. We are in an uptrend. Price was giving us on an uptrend. Now the trend uptrend from here. And here. Now you can see this uptrend and then price was broke this higher low. Yeah. After breaking the higher low, price gave us what? A liquidity. Now the 4 hour level, which is also a 2 hour level, right? Multi-time frame becomes what? The entry point for your sell, right? You could take your sell from there with like a 30 pip stop loss. You could enter that sell, a 30 pip stop loss, and you target this zone. Easy. I took this particular trade. I took this trade. You take and target your liquidity. And once the liquidity is out, you know the reason for this count for your counter is over. The reason you were countering is over. Right? I think this was from the 15-minute time frame. It was a whole trend on the 15-minute time frame I wanted to clear out. So it was from the 15 minute. Let's see. Okay. So this was it on the 15-minute time frame. I wanted to clear out this entire trend in the 15-minute time frame. This entire uptrend that has been pushing all the way up higher and higher. So this was what the reason I was saying. Clear out this trend and we continue in our direction. And as you can see, price gave me what I was looking for. Clear out the trend and price continue what? Buying again. And buyers continued because what we are bullish, and this is just what a counter trade. I'm just what countering the original direction. Now, a second kind of counter is where price is fully bullish, but you want to take a sell in anticipation that this sell should what turn price bearish and we should start selling, or price is fully bearish. Exactly. That's why I said market structure is next week's topic. If you look at the outline of this class, right? Each week has a topic. This week is storyline. Next week is market structure. Upper week is liquidity. So I'll teach you guys gradually so you can understand every concept easily. Because if I teach everything once, you won't understand. So I have to teach one at a time, right? Then towards the end of the class, we'll put everything together on how to plan a trade, right? So everything is everything is what one at a time. So I'm just explaining this to you because you asked me for how do you take a counter trend, right? So I'm telling you that you take a counter trend because you want to see price what clear out a particular area of liquidity and continue in its original direction, right? So that's why you take counter trends. Why there's another reason for taking counters is what I'm taking this counter trend in anticipation that price would what turn around and change the trend. Like I want to catch a reversal trend, right? Price is bullish, price is buying. I'm anticipating that price will sell, and I want to get in at this point. So what will I do? I'll look for what an area I can what sell from, so I can get in early at this point and catch the top. While another type of counter is price is bullish. I know we are going to buy later, but can I just catch this drop, this drop, this drop? So you have to know the reason you are getting into the trade in the first place. Am I getting into change the trend or getting into what to capture these small moves, right? When price is bullish and you are looking for catching lows like this, you are going pro trend. When price is bearish and you are going to catch these highs, you are going counter trend, right? Or you want to what catch the reversal, you're also going counter trend. So you have to ask yourself, why am I countering? Am I countering to catch a reversal or countering to what? To catch a little price pullback? Am I countering to catch a pullback or am I countering to catch a reversal? Now, this counter trade I took here was a counter trade to catch a pullback, right? And I already explained the reason for this trade with market structure, that this was my reason for taking this setup. Let me show you. My reason for taking this sell was simply because of this, right? We had what? I was looking at price and I could see that we had what? A low and a high, then a low and a high from here. Now, when we have this, what do you look out for? Then what price gave me what? My shift the market structure, right? After my shift in market structure, I had what? My liquidity from here. What? Then price came and used what? Left shoulder, right? Above the liquidity, left shoulder got used. So when price taps with the left shoulder, I missed this setup. But then I was able to what? Because I had my liquidity, these liquidities here, this trend, you can see this trend, you can see how clean it is. This trend right here, I wanted to see price or clear up my trend. This liquidities, you can see now I'm countering just to take out these liquidities, right? So when I saw this, right, what did I do? I was on 15-minute time frame on this day when I saw price what I saw the trend and I look at market structure again that we had what low, higher high, higher low, and the higher high and the higher low and the higher high, and price gave me what a shift. So when price gave me this shift, I looked out for this. Keep in mind the storylines are bullish, right? So I looked out for this inducement, right? So after the inducement, where do I enter from? The level above my liquidity, which is just right here. I could take from here, level above my liquidity, right? On my broker, the broker I analyzed with price tapped this open close. On this one, I don't know why. And this area was also on the same level as what 4 hour zone. I saw 4 hour zone right there. That was also a reason I took. Also another confluence for that zone was because there was a 4 hour zone right there. Okay, as you can see, there was a 4 hour zone right there. 4 hour open close was right there. So when I saw this, it's pretty simple. After I saw this, what did I do next? Sell, right? You could place your stop loss just above this high, or you use of 30 pips stop loss or 40 pips. You can just use 30 and targets goes down to this point, or this point, rather. Yeah. Target goes to this point because you want to see what this liquidity is out from here. Yeah. I think this was my trade. Yeah. And as you can see, once liquidity was out, price pulled back. Price gave a massive pullback and sold some more. Then what? Sold some more. Then price turn around. So this is the reason for this counter trade. I was looking for this sell, but I'm not saying price is fully bearish. We are fully bearish, right? But I had a bearish bias today. And why am I having a bearish bias? Was to what? Counter the bullish storyline to clear out this liquidity and price what comes back in its original direction. Right? Hope I've answered your question now. Hope I've answered your question, bro. All right. So now you understand why we take what counter trades, right? Now price is going pro trend yet again. So that's how you take the market from counters to pros. You just have to know why are you selling and why are you buying. That's how you take trades in the market. So I would end the session right now and I will upload the video for those who aren't available to watch. Right? So I think this rounds it up for storylines, and then you have to watch the videos, back test again. There's nothing special in it, just daily reject daily on a particular time frame, on daily time frame, weekly reject weekly, one time frame below, you wait for what? The breakout of the what? A formation or the V formation that was formed before price taps and rejects your daily. So let me end the session right now.